up with blue cheddar. Moncler jacket, wear it any weather. Shorty.
Welcome to Slime Sessions. You
What's
dig
going on? Hey, yo, welcome Complex Ambition out here.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you for having us out.
Gang.
My name is Ryan.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome.
man. Thank you, man. Yeah, happy to be here. We've been wanting to connect with you guys for a while. You've contacted us, and yeah, now we're here.
Hey,
Yeah, man,
we
excited.
did it. We did it. I mean, you guys are pretty big for Rhode Island, I think, with YouTube and everything, like reactions. Definitely went far with it.
Yeah.
And that's inspirational for us, like coming up, doing the media stuff. We looked at y'all like, oh shit, they're doing it. Like they have subscribers and they're doing it right out their car in Providence. Like we could do this shit too,
Yeah.
And I think that means a lot. So one, what does Complex Ambition mean for you guys?
So complex ambition is really deep. I can succinct it to just a way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? You can have ambitions in life and the road gets complex. You know what I'm saying? We're going to leave it at that right now because, there's things in a way that want to deter you from achieving your goals, aspiring after the things you want to aspire to. So it's the ambition that really drives you. You know what I'm saying? But just having the fortitude to keep on going forward, moving forward, that's what we're really all about. And that also means everyone around us, because we all have to keep on moving forward. So everyone around us is a complex ambition if you fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
Hey, appreciate that,
fire.
YI. That was dope. I mean, it's definitely, I feel like, especially because you guys are doing reactions to music, like music can hit everybody in a whole different way. Like it's emotional, then it's like motivational too.
Yeah, man. I think it's a universal, just like sort of like, I guess, vessel for life. Like a lot of people, they learn a lot through music. They cope with music, whether it's therapeutic. They go through things. They use music as like a time capsule to like remember something. And we just naturally have always connected with music. He's an artist himself. So he makes music, has always made music. And, I've always been a huge fan of everything that just has to do with music, growing up, whether it's watching, MTV music videos every morning before going to school, all that stuff, correlated into, our upbringing and, when it came to, what we already did, which is naturally listen to music as friends. Typically it would be on Friday nights, like whenever, or when on Thursday nights, sometimes Fridays, like if we were busy. Yeah, sometimes music would release on Mondays. That's true because there's like a new release schedule now with record labels. So stuff drops Friday, Thursday night, so Fridays. But it used to be like Mondays, randomly Tuesdays. So whenever like a surprise project or something would drop in general, we would listen to it together, whether it's in one of our apartments, in the basement, in the car. So we manifested that on camera, and you have us now today with over 300,000 subscribers, without having to really, sell ourselves or like portray someone that we're not. We just have kept it really authentic, and it's opened a lot of doors for us, in a matter of 4 years.
The nigga broke glass. The nigga broke glass.
Nah, I felt that. I was waiting for the right moment. I was like,
Oh my! I saw his hand creeping. I was like, "What's going on?" He's turning off this nigga's mic. Holy shit!
too much.
But what I can really say, man, is I never forget the time. If you're reading "This Is Too Late," and "This Is Too Late" dropped by Drake, and we were in high school, and we went to the top floor in Central High School. And we went to, I don't know, we can't even say this. We went to the gym teacher's private room. And he had like a private office. And it was like 9 o'clock at night. Because we had connections to get inside Central. I'm not going to disclose that information.
Okay.
So we would be inside Central and we would listen to music at night. And this specific day we would listen to If You're In This Is Too Late. Because it dropped, and just remember blacking out and listening to Mastermind up there too, by Rick Ross, and blacking out. And Malone was like, "Yo, we just got to put this shit on camera. We love this shit so much that there's bound to be people who are gonna connect with it." And with us, we already had our group Complex Ambition, So it was like, we're just gonna make this shit complex ambition then. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we do is complex ambition. So it naturally turned to reaction videos. We didn't plan that at first, but we fuck with music so heavily that it just became that, to the point that that music has changed our lives so much that we were in what's that festival called in Vegas? Day in Vegas? We were in Day in Vegas festival, and I was walking through the crowd, and we get people who recognize us and stuff, but this girl, she was hanging out with her friends, and I had my hoodie on and everything. I was going through the crowd, and then she looks up and she sees me, and we lock eyes, and then I'm like, I know she recognizes me, so I say, hey, what's good? And I just keep on walking. It's a really tight crowd, and Tyler Creator was performing, so it was a fucking mosh pit. So I was just trying to get the fuck out of there. And then I turn around, I keep on walking, and I turn around, and she's crying like crazy. And all her friends, like 4 or 5 of her friends, just start hugging her. And I walked back, and I gave her a hug, and she held me so tight and like shaking. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we've met people, and they've cried. Like, I swear to God, they've cried, but not to that point.
Yeah.
And it matters so much to her, what we do. And what we're trying to realize, what is it that we do? We're just being ourselves.
Yeah.
So us just being ourselves allows other people to be themselves, and they feel free because of you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. This whole YouTube shit like fucked my life up.
Wow. No, I mean, I feel like you guys have a huge impact on people for sure. Like, if you have over, like, I feel like your last 10 episodes had over 200K views. Like, people are obviously anticipating your reactions and your personalities, and they're looking at that and like, wow, I could feel that energy. I can listen to this album with them and feel their reaction, and it hits you in a certain way. So people have not only like emotional ties but personal ties. Like, they realize, just because it's music, or some people might see, oh, it's just like a reaction, but really it's kind of changing their life. You're changing people's lives.
Yeah. And that's something you can't really account for, the impact that you're going to have on the world when you begin something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to get in the trenches. We're fucking 5 years deep in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just consistency and keep on doing it, and you never know where you're going to get and how many people you're going to touch along the way. So with you guys, like, keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's starting off, just keep on going, because you really don't know. We didn't fucking have this shit written out. We're going to graduate from high school and we're going to do a YouTube channel. And no, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's when the most beautiful things happen. Mm-hmm. When it's organic and it's real.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that point about the connection, like, I feel like that's the biggest thing that really brings people together, because when you are able to connect with music and people feel that, like you said, like, they see your reactions, they definitely feel a certain type of way. They look forward to that and they analyze that. So that emotion was just like, yo, like, this is crazy. I can really feel this person, like, on a vibrant level. Like, I just feel like music allows people to do that, and it's just so cool.
Yeah. and also I would say to that, sound has always had this idea, like, we're going to just keep it in the car. We're going to just keep it in the car. Because what we've realized, what it does is it allows people to relate. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can remember my days. I'm talking about 40-year-old men hitting us up. I remember my days when I was in blah, 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 blah in high school, and I listened to music in my car with my friends. And we're bringing them back to that feeling. And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? So just even the setting itself allows people to reminisce and create a kinship with us. And it's really wild.
Hey, and another thing, like, that we see in the past couple months, you guys have a relationship with Trippie Redd. And I think, as people who, you said 5 years into this, and now you're kind of seeing, I feel like you guys are on this level of, you can connect with artists and other people who are very hard to reach, and they see you react, and you might make them laugh or something, and they see you as, oh, yo, that's the homie. Like, explain that to, I'm sure, networking and just having those relationships are definitely special too.
Yeah, man. It's definitely, we can freaking write a book about this situation, because, like, the concept of it in general, you can go from a business mindset where you build a relationship through networking, so reaching out to people, promoting, doing everything you have to do. But like he was stating earlier, and like how I've always believed, and throughout history you see it, a lot of the best inventions and the most simple inventions in the world, peanut butter, toothpaste, all this shit gets invented just accidentally. you know, and Trippie Redd, we manifested that relationship by him, you know, just reaching out to us. We kept it honest in our reaction to his album. I believe it was A Love Letter to You 4? Was it 4? It was 3 or 4? It was one of them.
4 was the last one,
I think it was
right?
4. It might have been 4 because we did the deluxe with him. So it was the 4. So the deluxe to the 4th one. So it was Love Letter to You 4. We were critical of the album. You know, we were straight up. And we're actually fans of music. We know what we're talking about. And when it comes to him, yeah, we're fans of him. When it comes to him, we're diehard fans of like his early stuff, especially. So we were like being critical. So he randomly DM'd us. He sent a video. We were at our friend's house. We were busy. We were doing some other stuff at the time. And then I look at the DMs. He's DMing us videos. I'm like, bro, Trippie Redd is DMing us videos. Like videos.
Like what?
And we open up the videos and like he's like in black and white. Almost like he's trying to be like Suge Knight, like he was trying to be tough with like a blunt in his mouth, and he's like, yo, y'all don't fuck with the music, like what the fuck? If y'all don't fuck with the music, y'all don't gotta be that hard on it, or blah blah blah, some shit like that. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? He really, first of all, he watched the reaction, but let alone cares, and to this magnitude to hit us up, and I was like. Heated. I was DMing him like, bro, what's good, bro? Why you like? We don't mean no offense. Like, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. I sent him my number right away. I was like, bro, we can talk if you want to talk. And then he called us right away. And then that's when we have the infamous on YouTube. We have it to this day up, the Trippie Redd FaceTime interview. It spawned right there in that moment. And we kept it authentic again. Like we even broke down. If you watch the interview, we broke down with him his albums, the songs on the album that we didn't like. You know, we broke down everything. But it goes to show you, you know, ever since then, he's sort of like, a lot of artists probably feel this way. Like they have this sort of opinion on blogs and critics, but at the same time, they want to win them over. So when we're around him, he sort of jokes to that. Like last time we were around him recently in Miami, he was like, yo, I'll make an album and you guys pick the songs. I'm gonna make an album and you guys just pick the songs. The best 10 songs you guys listen to. Like basically, we executive produce his album. Yeah. And we were like, yeah, if you want to do that, we'll do that shit. It'll be the best album you ever made because we'll know what to put on and what to leave off. No, you know, because a lot of artists always put some trash on and they get mad when people don't like it. But you should have made that shit, took that shit off, you know. But it's because the listener's ear is always different than the artist's ear, you know, and that's whether it's a painting, everything. Like, you know, you look at it differently always. So with music, it's even more, you know, because it's actually audio. So you listen into it and you listen to it differently. And he's probably in the booth and shit. He manifests his energy. He goes hard. But when we're listening to it, you know, we're going to interpret it differently, you know. And to a lot of artists, it's like their baby. You know, for him, I feel like it's very therapeutic. Being around him, you can tell he's been through a lot. You know, he really just goes through it every day. Like he sort of has that sort of like almost like an energy of like someone who just is damaged. You know, and when you're around him, you get that. You know, you feel for the guy. So it's like, oh, that's why he does music. That's his therapy. Like that's his way to get out, sort of like all his mental, you know, energy and the negative cloud around him. So that's what he does. You know. And it's obviously we sort of believed in that, but being around an actual artist of his magnitude, you get reminded of that. You know, that these artists, they're humans just like us. You know, but
and they're kids just like us.
Yeah, he's 23 or something. Like he's our age. Like he's young.
Bro. He's the same age as one of our other co-hosts, Nate. Like they have the same birthday, so they're both 21, gonna be 22 June 18th.
Wait, Trippie's only 21?
Yeah.
He has the same birthday as Nate. They're both 21.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know, so that's the thing. You know, being around him, you see that too, like as well. Like he's younger. You know, but that relationship, like I said, it really was birthed from that. Like he really, but that happens a lot with like artists, like from us just being ourselves, not necessarily even having to like ride their dick or be like, you know, oh, you're awesome. Like just from being ourselves, like they reach out to us. Sway Lee did the same. Like that's what artists do.
That's what's up.
You know, and I guess they see the numbers on YouTube. So they know that we're making an impact. They see the subscription numbers. They see everything, you know. So they're probably like, oh, their opinion matters, you know. So they reach out to us however they want to reach out, you know. So it's amazing. Like, you know, you can teach a class on like networking, but some things you really can't explain. You just got to leave it up to God and just like go about your natural day energy and just be yourself. And shit just falls in your lap. You know.
You can't teach energy.
Yeah, you can't.
Like that's facts. You can't. You gotta. Like you're born with that. I feel like you could develop certain characteristics. You could like kind of change the way you look at the world. But people come in with that energy. Like you either bring that light, you bring that sense of kind of like, yo, like I'm that person people want to be around. You definitely have that energy.
Most def.
100%. It's crazy.
I can say so much to that point right there. This energy idea, and also has to do with like if you're culturally inclined as well. So our energy is that we're very knowledgeable as well. Although we come from blah 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 blah. We're very educated, and we're gonna display that. We're gonna be very funny, and we're gonna be ourselves. But we're also gonna display the education. And with Trippy's case, it was like I think he knew that, yo, we fuck with you, bro, and we always have, but this shit's not working right here. And our energy, you can see when it goes down. Black told us the same thing. The R&B artist Black, he was like, I can tell when y'all niggas ain't fucking with something because of energy. You know what I'm saying? I could just see it in your eyes. He was one of the first to really hit us out and reach out to us and invite us to his concert. We chopped it up backstage for like 2 hours, man. Like real serious conversation with him, and it's just the energy thing, and you can't buy that.
You can't buy that.
And I hate when people try to force like themselves into a culture that you're not a part of. You don't have the energy and you don't have the knowledge.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
your opinion is not even respected, no matter how famous you are. Like those Logan brothers. Like let's say Paul wants to rap or whatever. Like you got the money, you got the clout. You got the respect? I don't think so. The energy is not there. We can't really tell that's authentic or not. You know what I'm saying?
I think he raps for real too.
No, I think
he actually kind of has some bars. I'm not gonna hold you.
100%. But is he gonna be accepted within the community and the culture?
Bro, like,
not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a culture vulture. What's
It's
the point,
Jake
bro?
Paul.
You gotta be yourself, man.
You really can't do much. I mean, like you said, it really has to be authentic, which is why we would do this and why you guys felt the need to not only do reactions but celebrate Complex Ambition. That's your own brand now. And I'm sure with that too, you guys have been pushing in like next year. You guys definitely have goals that you want to accomplish. What are some?
Oh yeah, man, we're very excited, very excited. This year was supposed to be crazy. Last year was supposed to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the world. I was talking to him the other day. I was like, yo, I feel like God like really stopped the world for us, like so that we can figure things out right now. Cause Sound's about to have a baby.
Yo,
yeah, so
congrats,
bro.
For real.
Dang.
Seen that.
So we're very excited, and things are happening just in our personal lives that it was like okay for us to have the stop button real quick and not really blow to the higher level that we were supposed to blow this year. You know what I'm saying? But we're very excited with what we're actually doing and how everything is actually moving. If you want to shed some light on that.
Yeah, man. Because to be honest, it's we really hit the mark on something that a lot of people, sort of strive for. Like we're working in like almost in the opposite direction. Like we've gathered this large following and everything, something that people work really hard for, but we got it with just being ourselves. So early on, we weren't, really business minded. We didn't really, look into the legalities of stuff. At the same time, we kind of were business minded because at the same time, we really didn't realize what we had, which was an upper hand on a lot of people who even do the same thing as us because we have a brand. We have the name Complex Ambition, and that protects us with everything. Like that's an entity itself. At the same time, you see a lot of people who do similar shit to us and they're like, oh, Dad reacts or Devin reacts. And like they put the actual thing that they do in the channel name and like hinders the channel because they don't realize like, yo, bro, if you try to make what are you going to make a company called something reaction? Like you can't, like you had to build a brand and a lot of them stray away from that. They don't realize that. So we naturally, kind of were ahead of the game when it came to that. But business minded, like we never really got into like, actually get on an LLC. Simple things that a lot of people need to get into an LLC, trademarks, merch, doing what you guys are doing, to be honest, like doing a actual studio, having a studio, a space, having all that stuff, where your creativity can run wild. It's free. You're not really yeah. We're working in reverse, to be honest, and that's how I've always looked at it. Like we're really working in reverse, but it's to the direction that God wants it to go. Like we really can't control it either, So, it's taken us however many years, whatever, but now we're really working towards that. We're working on, what you guys have on your body right now. You guys have your own merch. We're working on things like that. We're working on having a podcast just like you guys, having our own studio space. So that's really the main goals, because we already know that, what's not broken, you can't fix it. So we have these reactions weekly. They're always going to work. They're always going to work, aside from just because if a major artist drops, people are going to click on it regardless, but not because of that. Because we're always like ourselves. Like, we're always having fun. Like, we're always, we're authentic. We're never really scripted. Like, we really don't practice.
Right.
It's all raw, and that always works on camera because people want the rawness. Yeah. I'm a consumer myself. I listen to podcasts every day. I watch interviews every day. I like the raw stuff. I don't like the cookie cutter and like, oh, you can tell they cut that out. Oh, what the hell? What happened there? It's like you can kind of disconnect from that too easily. But we're so raw, and we can tell. Like, people always connect with us in the comments. The type of stuff that they say, we haven't really seen like a decline or like a disparaging response. Like, if anything, we're getting bigger every week, every day. We're getting bigger. So, we know when we do manifest, everything else aside, that kind of builds the infrastructure, like a studio space or just an office space, something that we can own or something that's just ours at least. We know that the creativity is gonna just, is gonna have fun by itself. It's gonna just go, and we're gonna do a lot of extra content that we haven't done yet. And we're excited for that, because we have this large following, and it's bound to, just cross over, get that attention, and through our connections as well, that we really haven't really manifested to the fullest potential that we can. But at the same time, last year, and still going on right now, we had COVID. So that kind of fucked up a lot of, meeting with artists and doing interviews and shit in person, and you can do Zoom, but it's really not the same. And like, a lot of these artists really don't want to do that. So they don't even respond. Like, it's a lot of shit happening. But once this ball starts rolling, whether this year, end of this year, next year, whatever, I think that we're only going to keep getting bigger. We're going to keep providing content, for music lovers, hopefully for a lot of newer fans, a lot of people that, might, let's say we talk about a topic on a podcast and we put a clip up and that topic is popular, but then they click on it and they see us and they're like, oh, I never seen these guys, but I like their opinion. I like their energy, blah, blah. And you start building new fans, and 100%. By doing that, we're really hopeful to just keep growing the brand in general.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, I heard all that. I mean, you guys, like you said, it's kind of like you had the blessing of, a huge following. You guys have fans and people there for you guys. And it's like that shit's basically what we're trying to do. Like, we're on the opposite ends of things. And that's motivational too. We know 3-4 years ago, you guys were in a situation where you had that dream and you might have not seen the numbers that you wanted, but you guys just kept going. And now gradually you guys are where, 300,000 subscribers. You guys have a video with like 4 million, the Travis Scott. You guys did the Astro World reaction. That was dope as fuck. I watched that whole thing.
Yeah, me too. Travis Scott fan right here.
Yeah, right. When I seen that, I was like, yo, this shit's lit. And you guys just relate to a lot of music that, we would too. It's not, obviously you guys react to maybe albums you don't fuck with, but eventually you'll realize that's an impact still. Each of those albums, each artist, whatever, people are diehard fans for and love the reaction that you guys would give. But yeah, I just like the whole vision you guys had out of Providence.
Yeah, Rhode Island, man. Like, that's what makes it crazier too, because we're from Rhode Island and we're not like consistently talked about like how New York is talked about, even Boston, Florida, and all that. So like I've been saying this for years, like, we're the smallest state, but we have so much hidden talent, but like people don't really give us the time of day. So like,
respect for nothing.
Yeah. So
a lot of people.
I've been trying to figure out what it is that we're missing to be put on for real, because we have the talent, we have the potential, but there's just something,
Unity.
Yeah.
That's all we need. Like, we need to start building that up. Like we were talking about it before we started filming this. The energy's starting to shift in Prov. We could feel that it's finally starting to happen. But for a lot of years, bro, and still to this day, like, someone will post music, they'll DM someone like, "Yo, go post my stuff." When your stuff gets posted, they're silent. Yeah. They don't want to post it. They don't want to repost. They don't even want to comment on it. I'm like, wasn't you just telling me to put your stuff up yesterday? And I did. it's like stuff like that. It's little things like that. People don't want to elevate each other. They're like, nah, that's my spot that he's trying to take. It's not like that.
Yeah.
We were number one worst state to start business in like last year, I think.
That's
like
a fact.
Yeah, like
Damn.
2019, 2020. We were number one.
What the fuck?
I know.
That was so shocking, bro.
Jesus
I
Christ.
know.
But I believe it, man. You know what I'm saying? What we really do need is unity, and we really need to build a community, and we need to be better. We need to be better. Each one of us has to be better. We have to excel. We have to, whether that's through education, educating ourselves if we want to be musicians, if we want to be philosophers, if we want to be teachers, if everything, bodega owners, if anything that we want to do, we have to educate ourselves and be better at, and try to be, not use our neighbor as an enemy, but as an example of, okay, they did that. How can I add to what they've done, add to what they've created? You know what I'm saying? That's what we really need, and we need to come together. And I think people are also, a bit egotistical. And sometimes that's because of insecurity. Like if people want to connect with us, just hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that we have, we want to share. And it's just about that as well, of not being afraid and coming from like an honest place. Because if we get hit up on some bullshit, and you niggas know like bullshit messages, like some weird niggas like, yo, bro, fuck with my shit. Calm down.
Yeah, right. Sit down first.
Calm down,
I'm
bro.
that shit.
Shit, goddamn. We're not gonna naturally want to reply to that. You know what I'm saying? We get a million of those, but if you're explaining, yo, bro, I'm a Providence rapper, and I really look up to you guys, and I respect what you guys are doing, and I'm building blah, 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 blah. Oh, this nigga's dope. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Immediately, we want to build. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all goes back to authenticity and being authentic with ourselves first. And do I trust my music? A lot of artists out here. Do I trust my music? Do I am I doing everything I can to make it the best and make it as unique as possible? And you know what I'm saying? Like, then people are naturally gonna want to fuck with it.
Oh yeah. Another thing that was really my curiosity was just how are you guys' daily habits, like, maybe a regular day for you sound or YI, like, because you guys are hella active on social medias. I think you guys are really good at just marketing in itself. I'm sure you guys probably have a team or something like that, but yeah, how does that even go?
Nah, man.
This nigga's a team.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The team's all you.
There's no team or nothing. No, definitely not. Eventually, we definitely, I especially would want to have some interns or just some younger, proteges, energy around to like teach them sort of like my mechanisms that I kind of learned to just like update on the culture and like post stuff that can kind of randomly catch traffic. But yeah, that's all me, man. Day to day, like, because my thing was always I've always been into, growing up, we had the blog era. So you go on a website, certain websites, and you'll be updated every day after school or whatever. You update on new music or a new interview or something that just happened within the culture of hip hop, right? But that sort of has died, like the website of the blog era. So the new blog era has evolved now to being this constant just post on social media. Like you have to see like, oh, what's going on with Coi Leray? Oh, what happened with her and this and that? Especially if it's something of a magnitude where it catches the eye. Like today, Young Blue, he gave Lil Boozy $100,000 because he signed him, I guess, early on, and like he randomly wants to give him $100,000 cash, and Lil Boozy was almost crying. So I see that, I'm like, all right, I can record this, I can post this. This is something that I care about. So I'm like, oh, this is eye appealing to me. So let me post it because I feel like it'll get traction, and it randomly can, especially on Twitter, where it's a world where you don't have to necessarily follow someone to see their posts. You just randomly see retweets and likes from different accounts. So it's way more powerful, I would say, than Instagram and a lot of other platforms. Like it's really a free world with Twitter. And, there were some Twitter accounts that did a decent job at these posts. And, there's a couple Instagram accounts that do a decent job as well. But I tried to like manifest it to like, all right, I'm going to try to get stuff earlier than them. Or if they get something, sometimes they post it with a bad caption. So I'm like, all right, let me do a better caption. Stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, that's us. Like we are the culture. We're part of the culture. So might as well post the culture. And we always do it in a positive light to the best of our ability. We never post nothing that's like too controversial or too like gossipy or too like weird. It's always something that has integrity in it, you know, and something that we ourselves would talk upon if we had a podcast, or when we do have a podcast, or that we talk upon in a reaction, like like we're talking about Trippie Redd. We'll talk about a post that he did already, since we're already doing his album, so we'll bring it up in the reaction. So it kind of coincides, and at the same time, you know, like the possibilities are endless when you have that type of platform, because we got connections with artists that way as well. Coi Leray, specifically, coincidentally, I brought her up, but she reached out because of a post we did about something that Trippie said about her during our interview. So I posted a clip, and then she DM'd us like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then T.I. randomly commented on one of our posts that had to do with him, but not coming at us or nothing, just randomly responding to our followers on the post. And we're like, damn, like, what the fuck?
Hey.
So you kind of see that stuff, like, it creates traffic, you know, and you use it to your best advantage. Like with Twitter, we've gathered a lot of views and a lot of traction to the point that we've had dozens of publications, Complex, Rolling Stone, post our tweet and literally like credit us, and then from that we'll get traction to the point that the main account, it got big, but then it got suspended currently with 10,000 followers on Twitter because of the Little Durk song. I think of the song that he dropped with Drake. So that's another thing. There's a lot of legal stuff to it when it comes to blogs, but we deal with that already with YouTube. Like our videos always get copyrighted, but when you do certain posts with blogs, you gotta be more careful, especially like unreleased stuff, and you got shit early. So, you know, there's a lot of learning steps with it, but yeah, man, that's all me, and I don't mind it because I'm constantly. Sounds like people are shooting for real. I'm constantly, I'm constantly on it, and I don't really, I'm able to control it. Like if it's, you can tell when it's sort of like a slow news day or like there's nothing really to post that day. Yeah, that's so loud. That's just giving me nervous.
That heater's heated right now.
That ass a heater, nigga.
Yo, yeah, it's a Home Alone heater up in here. But yeah, man, it's but that in itself is definitely we're the source for a lot of other news sites and a lot of news accounts. Shout out to Elliot Wilson. Elliot Wilson is one of like the main online journalists. He created Rap Radar. He was a part of XXL magazine. Yeah, that noise keeps getting louder.
That's not just a heater, bro. I think they might be spirits.
They're trying to break in through the top of the chimney. Damn. But yeah, Elliot Wilson, he's like if you're really into the music industry, you kind of get to, you see like his respect. He's one of the most like respected journalists, maybe the most, especially right now in hip hop. So like he's always reached out and showed us love. Like he followed me early on, and he followed the accounts early on, and he DM'd the Twitter account early on, literally saying like, who are you guys? Like these posts are amazing. Like I see you guys keep working. Like, and I was like, what the hell?
Question. So obviously everyone knows that you guys are avid music lovers. What projects are you guys waiting on for this year?
Man, I had made a video. I gotta eventually on a slow week make it public, but it's about the top 10 most anticipated albums. To number one, I would say probably is Drake, especially now, because he kind of pushed it back. Mm-hmm.
CLB.
Yeah, man. But aside from Drake, I am really waiting on a Kendrick Lamar album. Because
oh my god,
with a J. Cole album, I feel like we kind of at least a little bit can see the direction he's kind of going, because we have gotten singles, we've gotten music, but Kendrick Lamar really has not said nothing. But he's working, because he did say in a recent interview with his artist Keem that he's working on the album, but he pushed it back because of COVID.
Shouts out Baby Keem. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, Baby Keem's hard. Baby Keem's hard. So I would say Kendrick. I would say Kendrick is probably amongst real like hip hop lovers. You can tell like Kendrick is like the most anticipated album. People want to know what he's talking about or what he's gonna say about what's happening in the world, because it's kind of Kendrick-esque. Like To Pimp a Butterfly kind of paints the picture of 2020. So it's like, a lot of people use that as an excuse, like, oh, just go listen to his album. But it's like, no, bro, we want new music. Like we want to see also new music. Yeah. But I think he's gonna do it justice whenever he does drop.
Yeah, there were a couple videos of him like shooting videos last year on like a beach and stuff. Yeah. But like, yeah, Kendrick, man, he's just a mysterious nigga. Like he just drops an album and disappears. He's like Frank Ocean.
And Playboy Cardi.
They just drop shit and disappear. They come back like 2-3 years later, like, yeah, here's another one.
because he's nice like that. He
That's
just
what
got
I'm
it
saying.
like that. So he's
There's
just
an essence to that, though. It's unusual for rappers to just not say shit, not do anything, not be in media. Nobody sees them. So that makes people like, what the hell is going on? Where is he? So then when he drops something, you automatically have to listen to it.
Exactly.
You can't just slip on that.
I was talking to my boy coincidentally yesterday, and how we feel as if J. Cole and Kendrick came up in an era where they just missed social media's huge like undertaking. You know what I'm saying? Where they have to constantly post on social media and be active and this and that. So they were known for their music before they were known as people and their personalities.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So they missed this new era. So they don't have to be consistent on social media. And we see that they're not. And I think that works in their favor, obviously. And especially in Kendrick's case. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the fuck he's even thinking. Because his To Pimp a Butterfly is a masterpiece, bro. And it was cultural commentary. And the world was in decay last year. You know what I'm saying? With COVID and Black Lives Matter protests. You know what I'm saying? So
Police brutality, all that.
this is crazy. So we're looking for one of our leaders, and that's kind of a lot of fucking pressure, but it is reality to come up and say something that matters, because I'm kind of tired of the bullshit at this point, especially last year. We were like, yo, we just need some music, and Lil Baby stepped up. At least with that track, The Bigger Picture.
Yeah.
But, we were really looking forward to what J. Cole had to say, and J. Cole started talking about some girl, no name. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
You ain't talking about what's really important. Like,
damn, nigga, what the fuck? Anyways, I digress.
And that actually reminds me just how active I think you guys are in the community. Like Sound, I know you were at like a lot of the protests, and you were also doing, I think you were on the news or some shit for the Christopher Columbus like vandalism. So that's a whole other thing. You're not only like into the music and media aspect, but you're out here in the trenches, like really, helping shit out and being there when people are doing that.
Yeah, man, I try my best to, especially, it was kind of hard to, you got to be safe, obviously, because of COVID, but, I really was like, fuck it, like, I really don't care. It's more about, for me, like, in the future, like, where do you stand in the side of history? Like, when history happens, which is happening right now in front of our eyes, 10 years down along the line, what are you going to say? Like, when your child or someone that is younger looking up to you asks you, oh, where were you? They took the Christopher Columbus statue down in your city you grew up in? Oh, I didn't even know you guys had one. Where were you? Well, I was there. I got interviewed the day we got to take it down, And that all happened by coincidence, but it was also by just putting yourself there in that energy. I attended all the Black Lives Matter protests. I felt like it was my duty to. Like, I felt it. Especially as a Dominican, I feel like there's a lot of Afro-Latino people that they tend to forget about, like, their heritage, where they're from. They don't really like hone into like, bro, you're black. Like, they'll literally look. I have a grandmother who's like as blacker than my phone. And like there's people who literally look like that, uncles and like younger people. It tends to be like the younger generation though, and they don't really acknowledge like their heritage. They don't realize like where they're from, or even do the due diligence, whatever the big word is, their actual history. They don't ask their grandmother, oh, where are you from, or you had Haitian uncles, Haitian brothers, certain things like that. So and a lot of that stuff just comes naturally to me because that's who I am. So Black Lives Matter, my lives matter, my life matters. So I'm there front and center every protest, and it was such a wild moment. You felt the energy being there. It also felt like the youth was sort of like leading all that wave. Like specifically in Providence, Rhode Island, we had like the Prov X group, the young like leftist progressive reform. Those kids, they're actually coincidentally classical students, and we didn't even know, but they are classical students. And we're classical alum as well. And you would see them front and center every protest, and I'd be like, what the hell? Like, this girl's like 16, 15, but she's over here preaching, and like she has so much confidence, and it would make me feel inspired. I'd be like, what the hell? Like, we gotta be here. We gotta be in front of this energy. We gotta provide for this. We gotta like support this. And that was just an amazing moment. It really is really something crazy. We've always faced that type of injustice, racism, always in our life, but last year it got heightened to a level that it's never been displayed like on front and center on camera. You know, even recently with the Capitol, the bullshit with the Capitol, the white people storming the Capitol.
Oh yeah.
Like that stuff is like, it really, you know, just gives everyone like a eye awakening like reminder. Like, you know, you might be living in the land of the free, but it's really not free. Like you're really every day bound to face discrimination right in front of your face.
Yep.
Because it's people who just don't understand, you know, the concept of just who you are. They think like you're against them or something. Like they have these preconceived notions, and it hinders their life, you know, day to day. You know, so that shit sucks. But, you know, and we also have always used our platform to like advocate, you know, against that, against, you know, ourselves. We're straight edge. Like we've always been very like anti-drug, you know, very anti-following the crowd, just being ourselves. And, you know, when it comes to this sort of like activism, you know, energy, you know, we can naturally coincide with that because that's what this brand stands for. We stand for that. You know, we stand for just, you know, being loving, caring, and not judging anyone, but just being a friend to sort of everyone, because at the end of the day, we all are in this together. If we help each other with anything, you know, it can make things easier. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, acknowledging each other and being like, oh, you're just like me. You know, you don't see the negative first. You see the positive. You see the relativity, you know, and you just, you know, you carry on your day like that.
Thank you. I felt that too, because it's like you really feel the purpose of yourselves, not only like who you are, but what you stand for, you know, your values, all that. And that comes to play and what you guys need to do and just expanding your brand.
Yeah, bro, because we have to show out every time because this is who we are. You know, we're Afro-Latinos, and the world is just now waking up to what that really means. And you know what's crazy? We're waking up to what that really means. Being Dominican, if you know, what are you guys?
I'm Guatemalan.
Malian and Senegalese, West African.
Yeah.
Senegalese, Cape Verdean.
Yeah. Being Dominican, we had a dictator, Trujillo.
Yeah, I learned about that, motherfucker.
My dad went to jail because my dad was black in Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, wow.
it's like we were taught to hate ourselves.
Shit.
So Latinos, especially from the Caribbean, coming from slaves, we were taught to hate our history and who we are. So we're not waking up to, yo, what the fuck? This motherfucker, this is me dying every time a motherfucker dies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I'm a philosophy student. I'm a philosopher in general. I went to school for philosophy, and this shit means a lot to me. I study the deeper questions. You know what I'm saying? And I don't talk about this shit much on social media, and I don't post much on social media because I just rather do. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that I have a platform, but eventually I'll get around to posting shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give myself some time.
That's my mindset too.
What I really want to do is I want to do actual work. What I really want to do is I want to raise, you know, $1 million. What I really want to do is I want to, so I act as well. So I want to put in my beliefs in writing and acting that out in a major project and having that, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had like very serious conversations of, yo, like how do we maneuver this and that? How can we use our platform? And then I have mentors and they're like, yo, like just keep on studying what you do and love what you do, your acting and whatever. And that's gonna do bigger things in the world in your community than me specifically, because of my talents and abilities they believe I have, than if I just go out there and just go in the corners and start protesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I'm there, but like use your talents and use your efforts to make a bigger impact, because nobody can do what you do. So use what God gave you to give a voice for people who don't have one. You know what I'm saying? And that's we're getting there. We're getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we work and we have different ways of working too. Like, that's one thing we also have to recognize. He has a different way of going about life than I do, and vice versa. And you guys, I bet you all have different ways of going about things, and just be the best at the way you do it. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to like, naturally it's going to all coincide and work together, and then you're going to complement one another. You know what I'm saying? He could be on a day-to-day, but I might be on a project for 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But that's like, we're still working.
We're all getting to the same place.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, Complex Ambition, Thank you, y'all, for coming on Slime Sessions.
I appreciate you, bro. You already know it's love.
Hey,
Y'all got us for anything.